Hi, and I am here to talk about the final project in computer applications, which is the dream vacation. All of us would love to take a dream vacation. I mean, where would you like to go? If money wasn't an option, you didn't have to worry about taking the kids or even taking care of the kids or taking care of your animals. If you could go anywhere you wanted to go, where would you go? Would you go by yourself? Would you take a spouse or a friend? Or maybe you want to take a family vacation somewhere. This is your opportunity to look on the internet and do some research and find out where you can go and how much it's going to cost. So the first thing you have to do is figure out where you're going to go. And honestly, this is where a lot of students have difficulties at. Where can I go? A lot of students have never taken vacations, so they don't even know what's out there. So the first thing you really have to do is decide where you're going to go. Now, in the assignment instructions here in Blackboard, this was actually a student's submission that he turned in, and he went to Legoland in Florida. Now, because this is what the flyer here looks like, I would rather you not choose Legoland in Florida for your holiday destination. You can't go to Disneyland, Disney World. I've had people take around the world cruises. I've had people go to Branson. I think I finally had someone stay in Wichita, but very few people. A lot of people go to Kansas City or St. Louis. A lot of Hawaiian vacations. A lot of all-in-one inclusive package vacations to the Caribbean. People go to Dubai, Australia. I mean, just think outside the box. Where could you go? So the first thing you need to do is you need to get on the internet and research your destination, where you're going. If you're going, say, to Germany, you will have to, for the sake of this assignment, figure out where you're going to go in Germany, because you need to make a flyer. For the first part of your dream vacation, you're going to make a flyer. This is going to advertise your dream vacation, or you're going to sell it to the person that you want to go with. It needs to be landscape, so make sure you change the orientation. You need to have at least 2 document pages. One page is going to be the front of your flyer, and the other is going to be the back. There is a template in Word that you can use if you would like for a 3-fold flyer. Now just make sure that if you use a template, that if you're not using one of the areas, that you delete it, and don't just copy and paste information from the internet, okay? You need to have at least 3 pictures. You can put more if you'd like. You need to format them so they fit on the page. The destination location needs to be put on your flyer somewhere in WordArt. Make a bulleted list of some things you could do on the vacation. If you don't use the brochure template, then add some type of a table or a column someplace on your flyer in some way. Make a text box, and in that text box, put the address and the phone number of your vacation destination. Make sure you format that text box with border and shading so that it stands out. Then you also need to add 2 shapes that are formatted in some way and that have text in them on your flyer. Make sure your font is attractive. Make use of your styles and font formatting. You might want to include some descriptions of some of the things you might do on your vacation in your flyer. Tell me why this place is such a wonderful place to go to. I do read your vacation flyers, so make sure that everything's spelled correctly and that it's pleasing. Make sure it looks good. Be professional. Again, don't just straight cut and copy information from the internet onto your flyer. Sometimes you lose information that way. Always make sure that you preview your flyer and that you read it over before you submit it. You're going to save your Word document as a dream vacation with your last name. Now, after you're through with your Word flyer, you know where you're going to go, what you're going to do. Well, now you need to figure out how much it's going to cost. So even though money isn't an issue for this vacation, it would be nice to know how much you need to go on it. So you're going to have to do some more research on the internet. I want actual prices. Go to some of the travel websites. Find out how much the hotel's going to cost you. Find out how much the flight is going to cost you. Maybe you're going to be using gas. Well, how much gas are you going to need to get there? Think about your hotel cost. Think about your food cost, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. How much are you going to spend on gifts? Do you need to buy some clothes while you're there? What are you going to do when you get there? I know a lot of cruises have a lot of different activities you can do, but some of them cost additional money. So how much is, for the little things that you want to do in addition, how much is that going to cost you? Are you going to need a passport? If you're traveling outside of the United States, you're going to need a passport. So how much is it going to cost for you to get that passport? You're going to create a table, a spreadsheet of some type where you will list all this information and the total, how much it's going to cost you. You need to calculate the total using a formula. If you don't use a formula, you will get counted off. So I want to know how much in total it's going to cost you to go on your trip. Make sure you format your Excel spreadsheet in some way, make it look good, use headers. This picture here, he actually used a vacation expenses template that he found in Excel, and that is perfectly fine if you want to use a template in Excel for your information. One thing that you do need to put on this is your citations. Where did you get the information from? And that can just be a list at the bottom of your spreadsheet with just your URLs for your websites where you went to find the information at. You don't have to do anything fancy, but I would like to know, maybe I'm going to double check on, boy, does it really cost that much to stay in that hotel? And I'm going to go to that website and find out. So make sure you put your citations on there where you got the information from. You also need to make a chart of your information on a separate worksheet from the table. It's going to be in the same, make sure it's in the same workbook, and you're going to format it in some way. Don't include your total expenses on here, just do the individual expenses. So you're going to create your table, and you're going to create a chart in Excel, and then you're going to save that with vacation expenses in your last name, and then you'll submit that in Blackboard as well. So once you get your flyer and then your Excel spreadsheet done, it's time to go to PowerPoint. You're going to do a PowerPoint of your dream vacation. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Include information from your flyer. Maybe you're going to include the chart from your workbook. Going to include data in the presentation that was not included on the spreadsheet or in the flyer. Maybe include some of the culture or some of the happenings in the area. Maybe what the weather's like in the area. You will need to do some internet research, again, to get the information for your website. Make sure you cite your web pages that you use to get the information from. You can just create your very last slide that has just a listing of your websites that you went to for the information. So you need to have at least 10 slides. You can have more if you want, but at least 10. Where are you going? When are you going? How long are you going? What's your cost? You're going to need to include a chart or a graph. You can copy and paste that information from your Excel spreadsheet. What are you going to do when you get there? Make sure you have a title slide and a closing slide. Make sure you use transitions. Make sure you use a theme other than the office theme. The theme you see down here, he actually went on the website and found another Lego PowerPoint theme that he used for this, that he had fun with. Make sure you use animations on at least 5 slides, including the title slide. Now you can put animations on all of them if you want to, but make sure you put them on at least 5 slides. And again, make sure you have transition on all slides. Don't get stuck on all black lettering. Make sure that you make it interesting. Use different slide layouts. Nothing is more boring than having the same exact layout on each slide. So use some different layouts as you're doing it. 3 or more pictures at least. Pictures, of course, just make your presentation stand out a little more. Use a multi-level bullet on at least 2 slides, and this is where some students usually get lost. They forget to do this. Use multi-level bullet points on 2 slides. Use SmartArt on at least 1 slide. Don't care how you utilize it, just make sure you use SmartArt on 1 slide. Once you get all this done, make sure you read it for spelling errors. You will be counted off if you have any spelling errors on here. Everything that I've just talked about are things that you did in PowerPoint. It shouldn't be anything new. You just need to make sure you get all of this information into your PowerPoint slide. And you can see here on the bottom of the instruction page just how this particular student set up his PowerPoint. So you're going to save that presentation, and once you're done with everything, you'll go to Blackboard and you'll click on the assignment information, and you can attach file here, and you can actually attach all 3 files to the same assignment. And once you have them all attached, then you're going to submit for a grade. Don't put this off until the last minute. This can take more than 3 hours to complete and do it right. Remember, you're going to be working on the internet. You've got to do some research. Again, be thinking about this. Hopefully you'll have some fun doing this dream vacation, and maybe you might even find out how much it's going to cost and realize that you can go on that dream vacation. So have fun and get it completed on time and submit it for your grade.